Hey everyone, welcome to VL Astrology. Just live to say hello and wishing you all a very happy Christmas. So, all in the Christmas mode. So, just thought that I'll just go live for a while and let's just stick to the astrological part, not just about your personal chart. And also, if you want to know about the upcoming year, 2025 something, so you can definitely check with me on that also. Though I'm thinking of doing a video on Jupiter 2025 shortly, maybe after this, only immediately after this, I might just do it so that, we can understand on this auspicious day, of Christmas, that how the upcoming year is going to be showering the grace of Jupiter on one and all. Because Jupiter is definitely the most pious graha and is going to be giving us all some benefits of life and some grace for sure. So that's what I'm thinking of doing after this video. So if you have any particular question related to astrology, most welcome. Just a gift for the ones who are towards that part of the world or who are celebrating Christmas as their religion and as per their culture. I celebrate all the festivals, you know that. I love festivities. So please do let me know if you have. Thank you so much for the one for being live, attending the live session, everyone. I just thought that I must go live for a while and wish you all personally. Yes, I I have to wear my spectacles because yeah, Saturn transit over Saturn and Moon. Okay. Good question. See, I was thinking of doing Saturn's video actually, Sade Sati. So Saturn return and Sade Sati peak. These are two very important phenomena. Some major changes do happen during this time. Saturn, wherever sits, it gives you a little bit of uneasiness, and it's a dry graha. So wherever it will sit, you will be, regards to that zone, little gloomy. If it is in the first house, you might just be detached. If Saturn is in your first house and Saturn is also returning there. So you can be a little gloomy, you can be a little down and out, or detached. But you're very matured, sensible before time. Also, I have seen Saturn wherever it aspects, he gives that grace simultaneously. You really learn in those areas, really, due to your hard work, of course. And Moon being the swiftest, if Saturn is transiting over Moon, that is the peak of Sade Sati. So that will also give you some slowdown, delays, frustrations. But do remember, whenever it is the peak of Sade Sati, it has come to teach you something, some lesson that you will learn. I have seen people also saying that, why Sade Sati finished? It was a phase when I actually, learned a lot. I wanted to learn more. That kind of a feeling. Maybe you will get into astrology. You never know. You start learning something related to occult sciences. But you must enhance yourself whenever Saturn returns to its own spot and when it's a Sade Sati phase of Saturn and Moon interaction. That is the peak. Because before to Moon and the next house to Moon is also Sade Sati, but there's a difference. Sade Sati in the 12th house from Moon is actually when Saturn is approaching towards the Moon. It prepares you that, you have to take care now, from now itself. Your health, your finances, because it's looking at the second house from Moon also. So your finances go for toss. also, if you're in the foreign land, you suffer, you have that pain, you go away from your place of birth. That also can happen with the peak of with the 12th house Sade Sati. And then peak of Sade Sati, when Saturn interacts with moon, don't dread that until and unless you have a moon or a Saturn period or antardashas, because it is definitely going to be relating to something like, where you have to slow down, you have to mellow down a bit. That is what Saturn says. Saturn is the slowest planet, it's a cold planet. So now you will get to know about yourself really well. The self introspection takes place during this time, that churning takes place during this time. So that is something which you have to also think about, you have to be prepared for. And also it will give you some kind of health issues, mental health issues, people say that you get, because things will not happen overnight, and you will feel that why things are not working your way, why things are so slow, why it's not happening. So you feel very frustrated at that time. So that is also going to give you that kind of a mental stress. That is why people say that this is not a good phase. Okay, now I will try making a separate video, because for Aries natives, it is going to be the start of Sade Sati, and for Pisces, it's going to be the peak of Sade Sati. And for Aquarius, this is going to be the last end of Sade Sati. So now somebody is asking Venus and Saturn conjunction. This is a very good yoga, you must understand, because they rule the 2nd and the 11th law houses in the natural zodiac. So Venus and Saturn, whenever are conjunct, this will definitely give you upliftment from time to time, depending on your dasha, antardasha, pratyantardasha. That is the main dasha, bhukti, and the sub-sub cycle. Okay. So don't dread this conjunction ever. It is definitely very positive. And if you are a male person, if you in your life, if you are a man, then the women in your life, the woman in your life will be very matured, very serious, very sensible kinds, composed kinds. Okay. Yes, Saturn transit over Saturn and Moon in Kumbh Rashi. See, this is going to change for you, Vicky, because Saturn is going to be transiting Pisces next year. So it will be different for you and better for you, in fact. So I'll make a separate video. It requires attention, and I've told you what exactly in general what it does. Yeah, I know divorce rates and Atul Subhash case. See, all this is happening when Venus was in Sagittarius, remember? And there was an exchange between Venus and Jupiter. So this exchange did, and Jupiter was retrograde also in the Taurus sign. So all these cases will definitely surface. And there will be more cases that we'll be hearing when Saturn sign Venus is going to be, both the signs. So you will hear all of these even more. Okay. Nadeem Manu, my husband left me, no divorce, but no giving children and mind maintenance. I'm in grave difficulty. See, I understand, whenever this kind of a situation happens, when there is no divorce, there's a divorce, that means 6th house is active also, because that's the 12th from the 7th. So this might give, because of the 2nd house from children. So your Jupiter needs to be really strong if you want to get that solace. Solace as in like you get children at least. See, if the Jupiter is strong, I don't think so the divorce would have happened. That is why you are facing this difficulty. So you must actually, get your horoscope checked. It's not maybe the dasha which is conducive for you. That is why this is happening. Hello, Sneha. How are you? So what next? Anonymous person, ma'am, please comment on chances of landmark bills in 2025. I think it is going to take place. Social changes will be coming in because Saturn is going to be in Pisces sign after all. And people will definitely get more spiritual. People will get more spiritually benefited also. Okay. So it is going to change. Things are going to get better. Archana is asking remedy for Moon Mercury combination in Scorpio. Will Moon be still called debilitated? Why not? Moon will be debilitated. It is not forming a Neech Bhanga. Had it been with Mars, then we could have said that this is a Neech Bhanga and a Chandramangal Yoga. It is a Lakshmi Yoga also. But with Moon Mercury combination, this is a combination of insanity. Sorry to say that, but this is not a good combination. And from time to time, there will always be a tug of war between your mind and your logical reasoning and your emotions. You will always be having that kind of a tug of war. And this will give you that kind of mental setup where sometimes you'll be business minded, business oriented. So the best thing that you can do, you can be good with finances also, but the best thing that you can do with this kind of a combination is that you start teaching someone. That is what you can do. Yes, I have to do this also. On the 29th March, we have Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Saturn, Jupiter, Sun, Moon. For 2 quarter days, even Moon is going to be there. And we have eclipse also during that time period. So this is going to be a very, very powerful time period. And whenever there is a stellium in a particular zone, I have seen that, people tend to have a conflict in their own personalities with their own self. They go through a lot of conflict at that time. So it's not advisable to start or initiate anything because you will make mistakes. Whenever the grahas are retrograde also, see where they are approaching. Rahu is also there. So you have to see where they are, when they are moving backwards, what graha they are meeting. That is how the conjunction. So if they are closer to a particular graha, so that graha will play out the most, okay, in the stellium formation. And also see the condition of Jupiter in your chart for sure on that day. What is the condition of Jupiter? So I will be doing this video also. Don't worry. Maybe in the next video after this, I might just do that also. Okay. It's a very important conjunction and a stellium. Also, remember, if you are in the dasha of a particular graha, that will play out the most. Don't just think that, all the grahas are going to play out. The theme is going to be more prevalent or more impactful only if you are having that planet's dasha who's involved. Suppose you have a sun dasha. Sun is going to be getting eclipsed because Rahu is also there in the Pisces sign. Then we have Moon also there. So mentally, it is going to be giving you some kind of that kind of a situation where you can get you can feel little uneasy, in the confidence levels. You might just not be making right kind of decisions. All that happens, there are so many things, so many planets, so many significations will be prevalent in the Pisces sign, which is ruled by Jupiter, because Jupiter's position is very important because it's happening in the Jupiter sign. So, and of course, if you have grace of Jupiter in your personal chart, I don't see these planetary positions really impacting you that gravely or negatively. Always remember, transits are not the event creators. If you have been assigned already from your horoscope that you have to meet with an accident, sorry to say such words, you will meet the accident. Maybe it's a coincidence that on that very day you meet with an accident because you were in the dasha of the graha which is participating in that stellium. That is how you should see, no? You cannot just see the transit only in isolation. No, none of the transit positions or dashas have the potency to create an event. Always remember that, okay? If you have to get married on that day, you will get married any which ways, irrespective of the stellium or irrespective of the grahan or eclipses. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you so much. Yes, Indian stock markets, I think it's going to be really quite um, trendy next year, because, there are some major, um, I think there will be, some kind of crashes that you will be going through in the stock markets also suddenly. There are a few days that I have taken out, which are really very difficult days, and wherein, like last year also, when this happened, like last year as in like this year 2024, I've noted, and I had predicted also to my clients that be careful while investing on these time periods. The market will definitely get very badly hit, and it did. So next year also, I will surely tell you about a few dates which are precarious, and one has to be careful. And I had predicted there will be some air crashes, or, because right now, if you see, since Mars has turned retrograde and Saturn is in the air sign, Mars is inching backwards towards the Gemini sign, which is an air sign. So whenever Saturn and Mars will form a connectivity, air crashes, air pollution, and all those things definitely will trigger even more. And Rahu is also in the Pisces sign in trine to this Mars. So you can imagine how the situation is overall. And train accidents, air crashes, all that happens. So let's not talk about it right now. Let's talk about the good things, because I think people have gotten used to hearing only good news, and they don't like my channel for that reason, only because I give the bad news also. I mean, I try to forewarn you, because the bad events will not happen because I said so, or good events will not happen because I said so. So we must be prepared for both good and bad. So whenever on my channel you will hear all sorts of readings. Sugar less readings are always healthier. Remember, a lot of sugar is not good. It causes diabetes. So the channels who are actually, becoming too much prominent because they are giving only positive readings, and that's all superficial. I feel that this world is actually, this world requires strength, positivity, but at the same time, we must be prepared. So that preparation, how I am conveying it to you, that is very important. Okay, it's going to be a bad phase, but how do we deal with it? That's what, that's why we do the remedies, behavioral changes, become strong, do this, do that. All those things do matter. And that is why, I'm all the time, discussing how is it possible that, people are 100% happy. It's impossible. We are in the Kali Yuga. It's impossible. So when you actually fall prey to the good things, hearing only good news, then it becomes a problem when those events don't happen. That hurts you even more. Gen Z is suffering from depression, yes, porn addiction, anxiety issues, peer pressure. See, the thing is that Jupiter, whenever enters Gemini sign, these things actually grow. Jupiter is an expansive energy, and it is going to be in Mercury sign. That is why I'm going to be making that video very soon, so that, you people are not that sugar coating again. People are just thinking that everything is going to be so great, when Jupiter is entering Gemini sign. But it is the air sign after all, and it is about media. People will get addicted even more, especially the Gen Z. Okay, it's not that Jupiter's grace is going to reduce, whatever he has to give, he will. But also remember that Jupiter is also having some maleficence. Jupiter is ego also. People become very egoistically inclined. They think that why, the one who has a prominent Jupiter, you will see in the first house especially, that person will be really very egoistic. You cannot say anything to that person. If you will, then that will backfire. I have seen that happening. So you must not expect this Jupiter to give only good things in life in transits. So you will see that these things will grow. You will see that the media is going to spread the rumors like anything. There will be so many news which will be spread, which are rumors, and all the nonsensical things are coming to be there in the media, social media. All these things are going to expand for sure. And of course, depression and all, I think it's because people have become too lonely right now. Saturn had come to the two signs of his, from past 5 years, people have gone down right now in their mental setup, because Saturn is a detaching graha, and after 30 years, Saturn came into its own zone. So it had to give this kind of isolation more. People went into a depression because they were, there was COVID and we all were confined. That happened when Saturn was in Capricorn. And then when Saturn went into the Aquarius sign, people have risen. It's not that we have not been innovative. We have. But it also brings about isolation. People become to themselves even more. They shut themselves up. That is what Saturn's Karak Tattvas are. It has to play out, no? That isolation, that loneliness, that detaching energies, coldness in relationship, toxicity in relationship, all that happens when Saturn is in the sign of people, community, isn't it? After 30 years, now with Saturn moving into Pisces, things are going to get little better, much better, in fact. But still, I think that this is also going to be bringing about too much of isolation in people. Maybe the thing would be that, the only difference that I can see is that people will become little more matured, sensible, self-introspective, and towards spirituality more, not harming others and all that, will happen. Okay. We do have to see Venus's condition, because Venus exalts in the Pisces sign. So that is the reason when Saturn is in the Pisces sign, we have to check Venus's condition also. How is your Venus? How far is your Venus from Pisces sign in your natal chart? So that theme is also going to play out. I will do that video. So I'll explain. See, my videos are not just confined to the lordship and the placement. No, that the Lord of so-and-so is transiting here. No, we do have to see Jupiter's condition, that dispositure Lord. We have to see Venus's condition when Saturn transits there. We have to see Mercury's condition when Jupiter is transiting the sign ruled by Mercury in Gemini, right? Then there will be Panchamahapurusha Yoga also forming after October when Jupiter moves into Cancer sign. How good or how bad is that? So we have to see all of that, okay? Okay, please throw some light on Saturn return. I just go back and hear the video again from the beginning. I've mentioned about Saturn return. People do become very matured, sensible, composed, and some new events definitely trigger. Wherever your Saturn is related to that house, some new events will definitely take place. Suppose it's in the 10th house, job change will happen, 4th house change will happen, 7th house partner, relationship, partnership, business, or maybe, you will be changing out from the place where you are, shifting, relocating, all that happens. Whenever Saturn is in the Kendra, these things happen. 3rd house, 6th house, 11th house, good transit. It will give you confidence, and it will give you relief from your disease and debts and loans, etc. 11th house, yes, you will come out of the toxicity of relationships. So all that you have to check, 2nd house expenditures might cut down, and savings might deplete also at the same time. So that's how, thank you, Archana. Ma'am, what if Moon and Mercury are in the Nakshatra Parivartan? Yes, this is a partial exchange. And if they're forming a Nakshatra exchange also, you have to worship those Nakshatras. If you can, just draw the picture of the same, Nakshatra exchange definitely, works, in your favor in a way, because then when they are forming a Nakshatra exchange, the lordship actually, is given to each of them. It's sort of a strength which each of these grahas are getting when they switch places in a way. So it is considered to be moon in moon's nakshatra and Mercury in Mercury's nakshatra. You can be very logical, you can be very emotional at times also. Okay. But yes, it is definitely very much, much better as compared to what it is when they are conjunct together. What is the next? So many times Akhilesh has asked the same question. Can you please talk about the planets conducting one house, 8th house in March? See, if your 8th house is getting triggered, suppose for Leo natives, 8th house is going to get triggered. Okay, why? Because there will be a stellium in there will be Saturn's transit there, and the eclipses are also, the first set of eclipses also going to be taking place there. Rather in the second one, yeah, something like that. Eclipse, let me just tell you, it's right there in front of me. Eclipse is going to be in Aquarius Leo axis on the 14th of March, and then 29th of March it's going to be in Pisces sign. So you see, when it is forming the 8th house connection, it is not considered to be that great. But remember, it is going to be a mixed bag for you guys. Why? Because we have to see the stellium which is forming in the 8th house. All the grahas are not friendly or unfriendly. It's said that if there is a benefic which is in the 8th house, that benefic graha is not going to do well. If it is a malefic graha in the 8th house, it does really well. Suppose it's Saturn going to your 8th house, it is going to do well, no? People will say Saturn in the 8th house is not going to do well. We cannot just generalize the statement. Because Saturn is the ruler of your 6th house, 7th house, going to the 8th house, you really will do well in research. You will do well in your workplace, because Saturn will be looking at your 10th house also. Some changes will happen. Okay. Rahu in the 8th house, of course, I think has not given you that great results. Maybe you have had phobias, some fear phobias you have developed. You have made money with some unethical way, because Rahu in the 8th house, maybe if you are into occult sciences, so you will not be taking a right path. You want to make money, you become very self-centric there. So this, especially if you are into consultancy, astrology like subjects, you have to be pious, you have to be very unconditional. You cannot just think about yourself. Self-centric approach will not help you there. Rahu does that, but it makes you very self-centric. Oh, let me make money. Who cares? That person, where he goes, what he does. That kind of an approach, happens. So if there are so many grahas, so you have to see 12th Lord Moon is also going to be there. Saturn being the 6th and the 7th Lord is going to be there. And then we have Sun, which is the Lagnesh, going to be there as well during that time period in Pisces sign. Venus will exalt there, being the 3rd Lord. So the 3rd Lord in the 8th house is good. Lagnesh in the 8th house is not good for your health. For example, I'm just giving an example. If it is not your Leo Lagna, maybe some other Lagna, but 8th house is getting afflicted. Lagnesh should be strong. And if you are in the Dasha of the same, then definitely it is going to be giving you some negative results, even more. How is Mahadasha calculated? Is it by house lord or graha placement? See, we have to see the Dasha lord, Mahadasha calculated. See, Mahadasha is calculated based on moon's movement. So when you were born on that day, moon's nakshatra we calculate from, where moon was on that day. Suppose moon was in Jupiter's nakshatra, suppose in Punarvasu. So like mine is Punarvasu, so maybe that, I don't know, I didn't even plan that. Suppose somebody has a nakshatra, Rohini nakshatra, moon, when you were born at that time, at that day. So you have to see how much Dasha has lapsed and how much is left. The first Dasha will be calculated, the rest of the Dashas will be giving the full span results. So after Moon Dasha, because you were born in Moon Dasha, Moon in Rohini means you were born in Moon Dasha. So after Moon comes Mars, and then Rahu, then Jupiter, so on and so forth. So you must actually check from Moon. I also see the Lagna, Ascendants Nakshatra, because many a times Ascendants Nakshatra, if you calculate the Dasha from there, you definitely get the results. Suppose your Lagna is in Rohini, that means Moon's Nakshatra. So you have to see what Dasha, henceforth Dashas are, how they are going to unfold. So you will have to check from both Moon as well as your Ascendant Lord Dasha. Okay. Ascendant, I mean, Ascendant, what degrees the Ascendant is. That is how. Okay. Spring blossom, is it real? Jupiter in 12th house gives late marriage for female. See, late marriage combinations, you cannot just say only by looking at Jupiter, only by Jupiter. No. 6th house from 7th, 8th house from 7th, that is 12th house and 2nd house should not have affliction. Your Lagna, from ascendant, your 6th house and 8th house should not have affliction. When Jupiter is in the 12th house, it is 6 places away from the 7th. So it can give a spouse who is having some health concerns. Generally, it said so. Or there is a separation in the future, depending on Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, Mars condition. Please, just one graha? I don't think so. This is right astrology. We cannot. Ma'am, what if I have given the answer, Akhilesh? Please don't spam. Which placement is considered good for Jupiter in horoscope? See, you have to see Jupiter's, suppose for Gemini natives or for Virgo natives, Jupiter is not a friendly graha. So even if it is well placed in the horoscope, he will not be able to give that kind of result. Suppose you're a Gemini rising. Okay, Gemini rising. And Jupiter is in your 6th house. That is Scorpio sign. Okay. Now Jupiter is in its friendly zone. Okay. But and 6th house Jupiter is also not considered to be that great, because it's now things change here, because it's the 7th lord going to the 12 places away. So it's not good for marriage, relationship, sickly husband or wife. Also, Mercury and Jupiter are not friends. Remember, the illegitimate child story goes here. Buddha and Brihaspati. Brihaspati taught everything because Lord Brahma said that please, requested that you should teach Buddha. He is your child only, but he did not want to, but he did on the Lord Brahma's wish. So they are not friends, of course. So when we talk about Virgo rising, Jupiter doesn't do well for Virgo. If you are in the Dasha of Jupiter, I have seen, mostly Jupiter doesn't do well. So just to say that Jupiter's placement will decide this, sorry, it doesn't work that way. We have to see the relationship of that. So for Taurus natives, Libra natives, Virgo natives, Gemini natives, we have to see the strength of Jupiter for sure, because that's a saving grace. I've seen Saturn's condition is really very important for these 4 ascendants. If Saturn is strong, I think that you're good to go. And Rahu. Okay. Merry Christmas, Chanda Estate. Thank you so much, Mr. Chanda. Cold wave in India and climatic changes in the next 3 months. Prediction about cold. See, whenever Sun and Mars are forming a connection, it's a heat wave. So you have to see now when Mars turned retrograde. So you will find that there is a lot of breeze, coolness in the air. And sun has to be in a fiery place. Only then this will be getting a little better. Otherwise, it will be cold wave. So we cannot just say by seeing only one placement of a graha, but Sun and Mars, definitely we have to check. And also Saturn, because Saturn is cold. Okay. We like your channel. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Ma'am, how is it that Mahakumbh is in Jan and so many planets in Pisces? Mahakumbh is in, see, it happens based on Jupiter's condition. And that is why I really have to check this. I'm sorry, I was not prepared for this question. um it's just slipping out of my mind. I know it, but it's just going to take some time. Maybe I'll come back again on this. If I don't, then I will definitely respond to this. I know this, but I've forgotten right now. So sorry about it. Ma'am, tell us something about Atichari Guru. Is it real bad for the world? See, always remember any graha, as a matter of fact, not just Jupiter. Uh, Whenever they are in a very erratic movement, Atichari, or very slow or stationary, we must understand that there is some event which is going to take place related to that particular zone where it is. So the movements, that is why there are 8 motions of the grahas. So we cannot just say that, this particular graha is, if his Atichari is going to give good results or bad results, or when it is stationary, it's going to give good or bad or not so bad results. Jupiter, whenever is being a very slow moving graha, goes very fast. It's going to be changing signs in 2025, 2026, 2027. It's going to be Atichari coming back to the same previous sign. So multiple times it's going to be like that. I think till 2028, I have written that. I'll just tell you. Somewhere around 2027 also, it is going to be back and forth in Leo. So this way, it means that 27, 28 also. So this means that when a planet leaves a particular zone before time, that means it's erratic. How can we get the right kind of results? It's not right to say that it's bad. It is not the planet which is giving the right kind of results or correct results. Suppose it has to give you bad results. So Atichari Jupiter becomes good, no? If it is giving you already bad results. But if it is giving you bad results and if it is giving you good results and it's Atichari, then definitely it's not a good thing, no? For you. Demotion of a graha. Like you were promoted to a particular grade, suppose 5th grade, and then you are asked to go back to the 4th grade. How will you feel? Any which ways, there is some unfinished thing that, you completed 2 months in a particular grade, and the teacher one fine day comes and tells you, sorry, there was a mistake. You have to go back to the previous class because you did not do well this time also. And you missed out on the right kind of education in your 4th grade. So that kind of an energy is when a planet is Atichari, completes the span, goes into the next sign, and then comes back, fallen to the previous sign again. Like it is going to be in the Gemini, then going to Cancer, then coming back from Cancer to Gemini. So it's going to be back and forth, and then it's going to be in Leo, and then comes back to Cancer again next year, next year. So can you see how things are? It's going to be impacting that particular zone where Jupiter is. That means you have to check your Gemini sign, you have to check your Cancer sign, whether it is giving good results in Gemini or Cancer. So erraticness is good for you, then if it is giving good results. So take it like that. Okay. Definitely AI is a big threat. We have to accept it. It is a big threat. Sneha, you're asking about mentally and financially draining for me as Cancer ascendant and for Leo ascendant husband. But your personalized guidance and remedies were gold. You truly are blessed soul. Thank you so much, Sneha. I understand because you are, if you are a Cancer native, your 8th house Saturn has given you some financial drain because Saturn is looking at your 2nd house also. So definitely, and for Leo natives also, I have seen Leos and Cancer natives have suffered the most with the Saturn's transit, because always remember that Saturn is the Akara Graha for these 2 rising signs. So the transit of Saturn becomes the most important for Leo ascendant natives. If you are in the Dasha also of Shani, Surya, Chandrama, anything to do with that, you are going to experience some highs and lows during the next upcoming transit of Saturn also from March, because, it is going to be in your 8th house. 8th house in Pisces sign, but still being the ruler of your 6th and the 7th, it is going to give you some relief, okay, as compared to your 7th house transit, because it is looking at your lagna, slowing down the process. So that is why I said for Leo natives, the stellium is going to be there in your 8th house. So till May, June, you will have some upheavals to go through. Then things will get a little better for the Leo ones. And then for Cancer natives, of course, you will start feeling better from the February, March. Right now also, you will start feeling the results, from January itself. Don't worry. Thank you, Sneha. And remedies, like, if you ask me, the best remedy for Saturn is that you must keep a small dark place in your west area of the house, some small, and keep 7 almonds there, badam, in a black cloth, wrap them and keep them there. It's like, we are made up of 5 elements, and we are making the 5 elements of the universe. We have to get them in sync. That is how, I do the Vastu. If at all in the horoscope there is something missing, if you're not getting good results, you can make out, that this person is experiencing the negative energies because of this graha or this transit. So that is why I give these kinds of remedies. I come up with this. Okay, you're having issues with your father. Okay, so you have to do this remedy because, you have to strengthen your son. So if you have any issues regards to your profession, your finances, Venus is somewhere afflicted or Saturn is afflicted. So in the west direction, because Saturn rules the west direction, so you must have a dark place there. And Saturn wants it because Saturn wants to be there rather than being in the whole house. So we just want to trap the energies in one direction. That is why the west direction is given to Saturn, where sun is setting, it's dark. So keep small room or small place where, you can just make it, cover it, and put some 7 almonds there, wrap it in a cloth, black cloth, keep it there. And after, say, 7 Saturdays, you can just, either bury them, bring it out, bury them, or you can just, immerse them in the water, flowing water. Okay. This remedy really works, I have seen. Thank you so much, Warrior for Truth. A very happy new year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to one and all. Rahu Ketu return, somebody's asking. Okay. So I have to do the timestamps also. You guys are asking so many questions. Okay. So see, Rahu Ketu return, again, it's a very big topic. So it's double the impact, I wanted to talk about the inverse return also, actually, when it is happening in the Leo and Aquarius axis. So when Rahu is over Rahu, it is like becoming too strong. After 18 years, it is going to be coming to that same spot. Just go back and see what happened in the 18 years before this time. And also Rahu energy is going to bring about some major confusion in your life. Whether I should do this, whether I should do that, whether I should go there, whether I should go there. The illusion, delusion, confusion is going to grow exponentially now. You have to be very careful which area it is happening. If it is in your 1-7 axis, Rahu Ketu, suppose you are an Aquarius rising, so the partner becomes very detached. You become very self-centric. You expect a lot from your partner. You start expecting from others a lot. And you have that egocentric approach. It is a dark Jupiter, I always say. It is a dark Jupiter when we talk about Rahu. So, and that is why Guru Chandal Yoga, we say, and it is going to be in Saturn sign, and it is also considered to be a very strong place for Rahu, So Rahu does give us growth materially, but for living beings, for relationships, it's not a good placement for Rahu return. Okay. Ketu return, of course, they are now getting complete. So that's becoming powerful. The whole horoscope is actually ruled by Rahu Ketu. That is what I made the video on, Rahu Ketu's aspect and how they cover the whole horoscope, So when they are coming to their own spots after 18 years, major upheavals, major changes do take place. Ketu, it's like Rahu is one planet which will give you material growth. But if you are a billionaire, you have to bow down somewhere. So you bow down in front of the God, in front of the divine. So that is the Ketu energy when you grow spiritually. So to tame the energies of Rahu, even Ketu is going to supersede the energies of Rahu. So until unless you mellow down, you will not be able to enjoy the Rahu energy. Always remember, you have to do for others also simultaneously. If you're earning $10, give at least $1 in donations. That's what Ketu says. Okay. Rajshri, I can't answer this question. Please understand. It's a very personal question. Shikha, thank you. Yes, I'm thinking of doing a Prashna session very soon. I thought I'll do it today, but I was traveling, as you can see, and I was not prepared. I've not been keeping too well also these days. I, in fact, wanted to talk to you guys for that also, that please pray for me that I'm not feeling too well these days. I'm falling very sick, often these days. I know what the planetary positions are, but still, you guys, if you pray for me, it really helps me. Thank you so much for that. Ma'am, so you said that if Jupiter in the first house, it looks at the sixth, so gives sickly husband. No, 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 no. I said it is sixth. You said 12th house, no? When Ellie, you asked that your Jupiter is in the 12th house, correct? Or somebody else asked. I'm confused now. Somebody said that is Jupiter bad for marriage if it is in the 12th house? I said that if Jupiter is in the 12th house, from the 7th house, it is the 6th house. So it gives sickly partner, or you will remain sick more. Okay. So you have to see the second house, 12th house, 6th house, and 8th houses for both. So if they have affliction, the partner suffers if it is in the 2nd and the 12th. Or you suffer when it is in the 6th and the 8th. Always remember that. Rahu Dasha, I've already made the video. Please refer to that. I've already made the video. Vanita, will you ever offer courses to learn? Can you advise English speaking course one can take? I am grateful to you, Vanita. Thank you so much, Warrior for Truth. But see, whenever I have a plan to do it, something or the other happens. I get an assignment, or which is like Vastu assignment, or something happens in my own family that keeps me occupied. I'm not able to launch the courses. Somehow something is stopping me. I think when Saturn transits the Pisces sign, I'm going to really do it. I'm going to do the recorded courses, and I don't want to keep a very high fee. What happens, people are not able to do the English speaking courses because people are charging heftily. And that is the only thing I want to do. You see, when I'm doing these videos, on the live sessions, you learn a lot like that, actually. I know it is not a very organized way of teaching, but always remember that, in my videos, I always impart some knowledge in a flow, whatever I have learned. And I don't refrain myself from keeping things to myself only, because I have to go up one day. There's a return ticket. I have to go up. So what will I do with that knowledge if I am not able to impart it to the right kind of people? So definitely that is on my mind. I want to keep a nominal fee for the courses, and I want to start from the basics, because basics also people are not imparting the right way. That's not the right way. We have to do the blank chart reading first. First and the foremost, blank chart. First house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, then the signs. That's how I have to teach you guys. So definitely I will try my best doing it next year. So let's see how it goes. Shubh Kartari yoga is applicable. See, everything is applicable in Navamsa Kundli. Don't overlook the Navamsa Kundli. But do not straight away jump to the Navamsa also. If there is a basic promise in your D1 chart, then check, is it actually happening in the D9 chart also? If there is affliction in the 7th house, you cannot just say in D1 chart or in D9 chart that, oh, my marriage is going to be bad. No, you have to check in your D1 chart first. What is the yoga? What is the formation happening of the 7th house? You have to see the 7th house, 1st house and 7th house. You have to see. If you have to see, even if your relationship with other people, you have to see the 7th house, no? If your ascendant lord is afflicted, if your 7th lord is afflicted, if your 7th house is afflicted in the D1 chart, and it is also afflicted in your D9 chart, only then that event is going to give the negative, readings or negative events. We cannot say the delay of marriage is because Saturn is in the 7th house of D1 chart, period. No. Then comes the D9 chart. You actually check the D1 chart first. Nowadays, what is happening? Again, false information, wrong information, check the D9 chart. No. Check the Atmakaraka. No, don't jump to the Atmakaraka, dear. Don't go to the Darakaraka first. I know you have to check the Darakaraka, but that comes towards the end. First, see the D1 chart. 1st house, 7th house, afflictions. How is the condition of your 4th house? Sukhasthana. 4th house, then check in your D9 chart. If it is minus in both, then only your reading is minus. If it is giving you 1 plus and 1 minus, that means this will happen, the event will happen, and we can avert it. You are a fixed rising, you're a movable sign rising in the D9 chart. So that also depends, no? If it is a movable sign rising, then you can modify things. You have that tendency to modify things. You're a fixed sign rising in your D1 chart, but in your D9 chart, you are a dual sign rising. So this means that you can still maneuver things. You still have, but if it is a fixed sign and fixed sign there also, then it is going to be a very difficult situation for you to change your destiny or change your situation. That's what. So we have so many things that we have to see, no, not just only one. Okay. If one marriage has already happened, then will the second one separate as well? See, generally, I have seen 9th house, 2nd house, 7th house, 4th house condition has to be really very strong for the second marriage to be a successful one. If Ketu is there in the 9th house or 2nd house, and 4th house, then I outrightly say that the second marriage is also doomed. Do not get into it. But if there's a Jupiter, if there are good formations happening in the D9 chart, why not? Go ahead. What else? Somebody's asking, ma'am, in a dark corner, as in blocking out light. Yeah, it has to be a block. See, you can do one thing, Anisha. Maybe you can just put it in a drawer. You can just make a drawer and keep it empty and just place this in that area. Or you can just simply keep a box which is like, which is blocking that area. You have a small box, you can put it there also. See, you have to do the remedy. It's a symbolic, if you do it, I think it will give you the results. It will start giving the results. Ma'am, I'm a Scorpio rising. My Jupiter is retrograde in the 4th house. My Jupiter Mahadasha is starting in April. How will be my Dasha? See, I'm not taking Akanksha these kinds of questions, but now that you've asked, where did the question go? Okay, so Jupiter Mahadasha is going to Jupiter is retrograde in your 4th house, means you have a Jupiter in Aquarius sign, which is retrograde. That means you might just go to a foreign land, or you are already in a foreign land. That is something. And the Dasha for Scorpio natives, Jupiter Dasha is generally good only because it will give you Dhana Yogas. Okay, don't worry. Children, Dhana Yoga, also maybe, romance will trigger. Okay. I think I'm good to go. Thank you so much, everyone. See, ma'am, what is the condition for the people to come back in life astrologically? Come back in life if they left you for someone. Ex-partner coming back, you mean, right? Ashwini Gautam. See, first of all, whenever Rahu is involved, you will know that this person is going to be there for a short while. If you met him in Rahu Dasha, or when Rahu transit was happening over your 5th house or 7th house, you must remember that this person is not going to be coming back to you. Okay. Remember this. If this person comes back to you, will also go back again. Okay. So this is something you have to check. This is how you should check. Asteroids, yes. Yes, I do check. I check Pluto's condition also a lot. Pluto is a very important graha. When I talk about somebody's health, cancer, etc., like diseases, Pluto plays a very important role. Also, remember, see, Neptune is similar to Brahma and Vishnu. And Vishnu and the other one is Uranus, right? So Uranus is like is the creator, but Pluto is the creator as well as the perisher. So I always use these grahas, especially Pluto, for sure. I wanted to make that video actually. I told you I was not keeping well also, and I wanted to do a video on somebody asked on the comment section that Pluto is going to be changing this, that, retrogression and direct and all that, Aries transit, all that. I was really good to go and I wanted to air that video, but I fell sick on that very day. So Pluto is health. Okay. So whenever these kinds of indications are there, I do not overlook them. So you yourself are an astrologer. I always say that because, whenever you have anything that you go through, remember, you are the best judge of it. You know what you're going through. You know how to handle the situation. You yourself know where you stand in life. So your gut feeling is actually, taking you to the direction where you should be going. So until and unless you're on the crossroads, or you think that, no, I really need an astrologer now to guide me through to the rough time, or when is it going to get over? It's like, you get very agitated, very, uneasy for that reason. So you must actually seek and take guidance from the astrologer of your choice only when you are on the crossroads. I always, towards the end of my readings, say, do not come to me unless you really need that. I don't need to. This is not a money making racket for me, or money making thing for me, machine for me. No, this is divine. I have done for 15 years free readings, but there were certain events which happened that I said, no, I have to take this money. I have to take this. The energy exchange is a must. So we must actually take into account the the astrological factors, and the indications, what they are trying to, the universe, what is it trying to tell you. So that is why Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, I was thinking of making that video, and I just said, oh my gosh, today only I had to fall sick. So just don't ignore these indications. I did a reading a couple of days back of a girl who said that she postponed the reading by 2 months. She said that things were not going right that day. So I got my gut was saying, no, I should not go in for the reading today. I should postpone it. And then she got the date after 2 months. And she was really willing to do so. That is something which I really appreciate. And I feel that everybody has it, Why not? If you all, you all have it. Yeah, so that is what. So thank you so much, everyone. My best wishes to you all for the festivities, or we can say a new beginning. I actually have written a very beautiful note on, I found it very beautiful that when I wrote it, and I rarely use the AI and all that, when it is very, very essential, only then. So it just came from my heart that I should give this message to everyone on, Merry Christmas and New Year wishes. So do on the community post, you can just go and read that. It's from my heart, actually, that I have shared with you guys my feelings and my love and my wishes. So stay blessed, everyone, and have a great, great year ahead. I wish you all Don't fall prey to the wrong astrologers, please, who are just giving sugar-coated readings. And well, that is also your destiny. But I'm doing my bit by forewarning you guys. Don't fall prey to those kinds of readings. They are all superficial, temporary, and with very little knowledge, I think. That is why they are giving these kinds of readings. Stay blessed, everyone. Om Tat Sat.